I will request to speak when everyone is back in their seat. No, who told them they will not go? Our guests, guests, the MTN Foundation, and all the other partners, our district officials, our RDC, our main Isonga. Today it is my Sandra, my Senje. Isonga cheo neli mwidiro. Bana befe besomero. Bamayi mwesisa na mwanya ya kwezi. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kalaa Nambozo Florence, the district woman MP for Sironko. You will allow me to stand here because I wrote a few things that I think I should say. I want to thank my Senje. Sandra is my Senje, or my aunt, because her father is my Guga, or grandpa. I'm Msita, and that tells you who Basita are. Mukubireko mukono basara. Atenga wezireko kubire mukono bachina. Kuba mukono. One time I went for a fellowship, and it was hosted by one of the first daughters, Dr. Patience Rawogo, and I listened very keenly. You know, when you're called to greatness, you must be very silent to listen. And amongst the thing that I picked keenly was that Pastor Patience comes from a home, from a family that has run, maintained, and sustained a revolution. The service was done for me. I could have walked out and gone. She comes from a home that has run, maintained, and sustained a revolution. For me, that was enough. And our president is Msita, so we are very proud of you. I'm a teacher, and for me, when you want to clap, please clap. Just don't play with those hands. People don't go kuba. I want to read something for Sandra, and that will go for MTN. I want each of us to pick what you are or what you think you are. I look at Sandra, a girl born here in Msita. I call her my Msita Senje because she calls me her Msita MP, and I'm very proud of her. I look at Sandra descending to the top. The English would think I've said it wrongly, but descending from the top, descending to the top is humility. When you descend to the top, you come down. Is humility. That's how Sandra has been able to work with those people. And there's so many others who have not come. So we are changing a narrative, not the classroom English. We descend to the top. From the beginning to the end, and to the beginning. From the beginning to the end, and then back to the beginning to implement. That is what Sandra is. A refined fire is my Senje. You're a firebrand. You have lambanoed opportunity instead of sitting back in self-pity as a girl. Our girls have given us a poem and everyone is going, oh, we are sorry, oh, we are sorry. We want you to act, don't just be sorry. Act and help the girls. You have not sat back to cry. You have gone through a stage. Mwabona senye Amelia. Mwamubone. Yeka mubone. Senye tuwe bantu bakubone. Atane baseza ili okutuka gano mukasinga ayo. Ili okamugana. Is there a man who would not want this woman? Please don't sign it. She has not sat back in self-pity. And the gender inequalities, and the gender inequalities of saying, what will I do? You know, beautiful girls have got so many challenges. Everyone looks at them and sees them. And they want to make a crush on them. But Sandra has stood the test of time. At least I have had a chat with her. She has not told me that she got any money from a man. In quote unquote, she has not got any money from a man intending to lure her to fail. Otherwise, we would not be celebrating this day. And for that, we are very proud, Senje. I look at you as a girl with an elevated sight that has soared high through the challenges of a girl child. Your sight is beyond. It is. You have already been to Germany now. Now I was saying Senja, I should have been part of your hand luggage. You were in Germany because of coffee. From Busita here, where there are bad roads and there are trees that are overshadowing where civilization is. But you have gone beyond that. You are looking at the future. The school girls, Mwabono Mutuyo, Mwabone Samina, Katani Alinga, the Bible here, Kaozi Pale, Zibeleje Zawele Musa. The Bible you God lifts you high and puts you in a rock higher, so that you can see the other side. Umanoti kubona bona kuno kebulikwe kufada kebulikwe kuwaoda mawulire bananye toke kwakola bintu bizibu naye ngana bule mnyamata kumawulire mukangata balikukwamisa mawulire Sandra ikadamba ko sipadi adamba ko kadamba ko mafuta ne mwabona amire tongolo ganyuma omone ngoga bulla tokula ko ganna akuba ukulagoga nawe kwenda uibwa choga nenga chigana cho nenga chira bugumikiriza maule bakana chira bugumikiriza bamai ungakwasire ukuza kubulire mboza atemali what district azile ogenda ukuza kuba ni women's day bere kwafunire mboza second kono binyenza ngani kala ate wakakumye ngata imukubeo women's day kuza kubulira omwana omukana ayo tuwo bikolochien tuwe how we want to know how ubulire batu bandi bine mu man. I look at you at connecting to higher realities through awards. There are awards that you have accumulated, that you're still accumulating through the realities of Busita and coffee. I wanted to ask Senja, where is your coffee garden? And she told me, my coffee garden is there. Those are the ladies and the others who have not come. And that is her. So, Mirundi Singer, we say we don't have, but we have the inner built capital, the inherent capital. Basad, inyenye bakola ni ma isan rest semir mwangu isi. Endinga nezi nabot nemi enagana kubona. Kumanya kuti nyowe gende capital wo alimumutwe. Kwane nazi gani ekute wo mwana iti buka kalamo litaka nge second wo na mwewo byo bakwe nazima anyutsahali. Nenganzo esire nyenyi namanye tupitaka baje sigasi ngakuge bakusomesire mu bibina. Amina. The uniqueness in character. I have seen Senja around. Kenesi yakumtendeleza na. Nenga namubone ko esabita atavuge motoka yebe. Avuge motoka yebe nenga alinizi sambo. Kukunganya batu babosana all these partners and they come and testify for good. Kumana wefe wengo wesikulanga kutule local girl. Kumukubire kwa mukono basa. They talked about her being so accountable. In accountability, she's at the forefront. Binoti na bia kulo safe nila mohali. Ayo mutulo bilat atunde se mugula ko na yangula. Wabone. Akutunda na owamutunda. Bintu byabyo ndigisinga kuliko nje Yesu gala 10 yakochitira Musa huko. Wahalobe omuntu tikawo bisule. Nenda bakule basandra kako ko bitu bifana ngabyo da senje wanya kukuma mutindo gwezi sam. Nga kuna tusabana baze hands. Baze bakole milimo. Zisambo chikulu na mbera akasoma nebizula bitenda kumuti azibwata. Nga kakuba nizisambo abanibuka kamugwe pika hasi. Kuza kunganya abantu babosizana is not an easy thing for all these partners to be holding one person's hand is greatness for me. I will say that in English. The patterns and principles that you have employed to bring Kalaa Mugosi to this level, to the international scene, we hail you, Senje. The transformation you have caused, Mubamai, Bubaga, the SDGs. And we have the first one, poverty. Maya Lumiati, Mumana, where so many in Kumba. Probably she had never thought of her child going to Kumba. But now you have worked on poverty, you have worked on gender equality, there is affordable and clean energy through the briquettes. There is economic growth and social inclusion. You have done empowerment and the many others. The SDGs, you have almost covered all. However little you have touched some of them, but most of them you have touched because you have a testimony that you're not giving by yourself, but by other people. The design systems and patterns, you're already in Ulambu. Nemai wewe walilile. Senje remember? Maya alikuga na wambuke komsa sibita. Wasita. Wambuke komsa uzekwe malo hona lebonanda. Ayuna yokunganye, there's a lot of coffee. So she has requested kindly, don't forget to pass there. The language, I was listening to all these partners here, and I was listening to the language. I think you have a uniqueness in language that has managed to attract. I wanted to see a woman speak here, and they only spoke about a woman in absentia who is the ED, Mama Sylvia Mulinge, the CEO. It is men who are speaking about you. That means you have a language that we need to, copy or adopt. I don't know whether we shall rehearse it. For me, I want to use you as a role model, especially in the girls' schools, because they need to learn how does a person come from the lowly and scale up where you are and yet remain low and remain breaking chains. Actually, Kalaa Mugosi, the other part of it is breaking chains continuously. Which language you use? One of the things that has failed business amongst the young entrepreneurs is language. There's a lot of pride. The utterances alone. Someone can tell you, I just came from Germany. What are you talking about? I got other partners. What are you saying? But I think you have a uniqueness that greatness that cannot be intimidated by other greatnesses. We need to know ukusomese ochikola otiena wasinoire wolirengaji nenga nasobola kuda ng'otondale bwategesenga nakwika hasi iti mayi ng'osobola kusuda bantu babosizana bamayi babosizana wabika isese imekusingirako ki oyabaloba kalulu nakikola atyena nimungulirako mezi gesi bamusinga akuba nimungulirako mezi ge bamusinga n'abasekesire Mai Sandra Senje banyana bikumanifestinga the light in a woman, the light, because a woman and a man are equal before the eyes of God. But you have spelled it out in a very, very simple and understandable way that even a girl child, a woman, can supersede once she knows that there is greatness inside of her. Because the greatness inside of someone can only be brought out by them. Nenga omwene nonyala wagatusayo wenda kagatusayo umuntu gundi kanyala da mawulire baana kiri mwiwe kyemugatigo magesigesi wakakutusa muti emute kulupapula iwona ogatusa be omusomesa akagabera akakuba kibo konyala wagatusana ekyesimayi yakole. She has brought out the light. A city set high on a hill is what I look at you, because today you're shining and no one can put you out. Whatever anyone does, there is no single person going to try to trap on you, going to try to block you. You are now unblockable. You are unstoppable. And we are very proud of you for bringing us this delegation. I think that will be the end of my words. I've been given a responsibility. However, before I go to this responsibility that I've been given officially, those you need to be fast. You need to be fast. Mai Sandra, our partners, those children have brought out a flight that is in all the girls back in the rural areas. They're just a sample. They're just a message. They're just a voice of the so many. How I pray that you work with people. Of course, you cannot do it everywhere. You have your terms. But how I pray that you work with us a little more. You cannot do it all. But when these ones, which class are you? P6, P5. When these ones come and tell you that, you know, these are in boarding. The ones in this school, it is worse. They must move to school. There's proximity from home to school. There's a distance. We have a ridge up here, and they must come down. When it rains, it's impossible. When they ask, I request that you speak to them. Just don't sympathize with them. I don't like sympathy. When you go to places and the people tell you their problems, don't sympathize. If you have something to give them, give it to them. If you can promise and you think you will deliver, deliver. Don't sympathize with them. You only push them into more pain to know that for them they are at that point that God probably cannot save. Mugobole. I hope I've communicated. I didn't want to be misunderstood, but it is one of the things that I, as a leader, has taken on. That is one of my modus operandi. That I don't sympathize with people. Even when I go to burials, I don't sympathize. I encourage you. When you sympathize with people, you're telling them to cry more or to suffer more. And I think today, people need to hear the hard truth. We the Basita are hard. We say it the way it is. I'm sure you have had Sandra do it for you. These people, these children here, have had something to present to you. And if you permit me to call them, they'll come and give you what they wanted to give to you. Allow them to bring these copies for you. Allow her to bring them to you. And you just look at them and see what I want to appreciate. Thank you so much. MTN, wherever you go, you're everywhere. You are in our bedrooms. You are in our gardens. You are in the deepest of all places. You have equipped us. You have made us happy. Sometimes you have hurt us. But you're ours, and we appreciate. Let me tell you something. One time listen. Mayor, please, one time I was supposed to go to school, but yet also pick my children from school. So I requested my husband to go and pick the children because I had to run to Chamboko. So he said for him we would not go to school to pick the children. That's the reason he bought for me a Prado. So we rubbed wrongly. Now, when I went and picked the children and came back home, I had to go back to school. When I went to school and came back, the women used the silence tool. When I kept quiet, MTN sent me a random message, and it was those love messages that they used to send. I don't know from what. And I read it aloud. I didn't know that he was in the other part of the bedroom. I almost had all the windows in the house shut. So as much as you've done us well, we appreciate, but that is, I think, you have done us well. We, as the people of Sironko, appreciate for this kind gesture, for supporting our girl, for looking out for her, for protecting her. I'll call it protection because if you had not come in, who knows? She would have strayed and gone elsewhere. But you are there, you have protected her, you have supported her, and we thank you. Allow me to...
In the award of certificates. Kalaa Mugosi team, please. Bamai babasoma kukola man. Okay. Mr. Mafwami Peter is he here? Okay. No. DJ, be a good DJ with some music.